T20 cricket is about damage limitation. Obviously, you want to take wickets up front, but it's about damage limitation whilst you're doing that. So it's crucial that guys have practiced options. If anybody's trying to get into the IPL, or the kids are watching, or the girls, young girls are watching who want to play, a high standard of T20 cricket, you've got to have something that you go to that's your super strength.
Welcome once again to our weekly chat show, talking IPL, what's happening in IPL the entire week. And as we are entering the final phase of the league stage, we also need to know who will make it, who will not make it. An exciting week that went by and an exciting week that is yet to come against us or upon us. Welcome to Paul. Paul, welcome to the show. Sai, our enthusiast, is there. As well as joining us is Shyam Krishna, the Senior Associate Editor of Gulf News, who's another IPL fan. Welcome everyone to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Adesh. Thank you very much.
Paul, I'm going to start with you straight away. How exciting is this week, the last week, with so many matches played? Still, there are 9 teams still in the fray. So do you think that that's one of the things that makes IPL one of the most sought after leagues in the world?
Absolutely. That's exactly what the broadcasters and the fans want, isn't it? We all want that touching distance away from getting through to semi-finals, finals. Most exciting time. It's building up to be a really special IPL.
Yeah. Having said that, but not the best of times for the English players, isn't it? Yeah, of course. The good thing is that Joe Root is now coming to the T20 IPL, playing his first matches after many years. So, not again, we spoke about it, especially the form of Butler. Is it a bit of a concern, Paul?
Well, not really. I think IPL and the T20 franchises around the world, T20, you want your best players to win, half a dozen games. And, they can't do that every day. And it's what you actually want in a team is everybody making contributions, not just the same people. So any coach around any T20 team, yes, they want their big stars to do well, of course you do. But, you need everybody in every position to be confident and have some form behind them, especially when you go into the close games and when it really matters.
Yeah. Taking a cue from Shyam, what Paul said is you don't want just one player to perform. Is that what is happening with Rajasthan? Because they have been banking too much on Jaiswal, and suddenly one day he has an off day and the team collapses.
Not necessarily, because like Paul rightly said, it is not just the entire team. If you look at each match, it is just 1 or 2 players firing. If you look at yesterday's match, for KKR, it was Rinku Singh and Nitish Rana. They were the only 2 players to fire for them, and that was good enough for them to win. So, which is the true of most teams. If you look at Bombay's revival, was solely engineered by Surya Kumar Yadav. So, I mean, some teams might be inspired by or led by one particular player, but not always the case. Like if you look at Bangalore, Royal Challengers Bangalore are said to be just a 3-man team, because if you take Kohli, Faf du Plessis, and Glenn Maxwell out of the equation, their batting is just abominable, actually. So, but the thing is, that was enough for them to reach still within a striking distance of the last 4. So, Rajasthan case, actually, they have more than just Jaiswal. I mean, unfortunately, Butler is not having the best of seasons. That is because we are comparing with a phenomenal season last year. I mean, you can't have that kind of season year after year. But having said that, he had one very good inning and a couple of not too bad innings. So also with Sanju Samson had a few 50s here and there. Then we had also had Hetmare coming down the order in some matches. But the only disappointment in Rajasthan has been Devdutt Padikkal. So to expect consistency from players in a T20 tournament, I think it is a little far-fetched. I mean, I don't think it's possible, simply because if you look at Jaiswal, one match he just hammered daylights out of the bowlers, and next day he goes out for a duck. That is the nature of the IPL, or rather the T20 games. So I think consistency need not be a barometer so long as they don't flunk far too often.
This consistency, I'll come back again to Paul. Sai, I know you've been waiting. It's a very tentative times for SRH, because now literally every match SRH has to win starting from today.
Yeah.
So how do you think it's panning out? Do you think that the bottom half clearly has a disadvantage, while the top half have a slight edge over the other teams?
Actually, not really. You know, every team has got an equal advantage. I mean, this is one of the IPL sessions where the action is not yet over till it's over. You know, I mean, every team other than Delhi Capitals are in the race to qualify. You know, if SRH wins. Now, for SRH has got a selection dilemma. Till now, they have not yet used Adil Rashid, because they can use only 4 players. It's Adil Rashid, Jansen, or Glenn Phillips. Whom do you choose? And, you know, Glenn Phillips is an outstanding fielder and an outstanding batsman, and he was touch unlucky last time. So they are in a selection dilemma on who are the 4 players they use. And also their bowling has yet to come to the mark. I just hope that they, you know, get in their acts right and get over Gujarat Titans today.
Talking about bowling, you have one of the fastest bowlers in the world, Umar Malik. You have him, and then you have dropped him. And then now the bowling is still not settled. So what is your thought? They should. I know he was hit for a couple of matches. Still, that's where the experience counts, isn't it? And the confidence, like the other teams show. Like say, for example, a Mumbai or a Chennai. These are the teams, they don't drop players just because they didn't have a couple of good games.
I think it's the right time to bring him back in and give him another shot at it today. I mean, and today, I mean, now all the players will be trying to play for their revival. So, because the next selection will be on for the next IPL 24. So, the players who are, at least they need to perform or perish. So, the last 3 games for them. So, Umar Malik will definitely come out. I mean, they will try to give him a chance in today's match, I hope. And I hope he performs well. I mean, he is a talent. He's a budding talent, a speedster. All he needs to just hold his horses and bowl at the right line and length. And I'm sure he'll get this thing for SRH.
Paul, coming back to you, Sham made a very valid point. Consistency is very difficult in T20. As a coach for Leicester and as a mentor of the Mentors Academy in Dubai, how do you train the kids to keep the consistency? Because that's where they'll be able to cement their spot, whichever format they are playing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, consistency of mindset is the most important, because you're going to get hit for a boundary or two. It's how you hold your emotional control, how you just breathe and keep focused. And you need to have a couple of balls to go to for each batsman. You've got to do your homework. You've got to make sure, right, do I deliver a slow ball outside off stump? Do I go a wide Yorker, or do I blast his feet off? And it's having a go-to delivery that you have one definite go-to delivery to keep your consistency. You're trying to, you know, T20 cricket is about damage limitation. Obviously, you want to take wickets up front, but it's about damage limitation whilst you're doing that. So it's crucial that guys have practiced options. If anybody's trying to get into the IPL, or the kids are watching, or the young girls are watching who want to play, you know, a high standard of T20 cricket, you've got to have something that you go to that's your super strength. And obviously, you do your homework against teams at this level. It's easy done with the analysis work that's done. So you've got to make sure that the captains are with you and believe you, have the field that you want to get hit into a quadrant of the ground that you want to get hit to, whether it's from backward point to third man, or from square cover to mid-off. You've got to have the fields correct that you can deliver your consistent bowling to.
And what about the batsmen? For the young batters, how do you train them? What will be your suggestion?
Yeah, well, certainly, you know, at the moment we're doing a bit of work with a GMR academy in Dubai, and it's a wonderful academy that we've got youngsters coming through doing school curriculums, but also at the time we've got great mentors coming to work with them. Chaminda Vass was with us. He's an amazing bowling coach. So he works with with the young kids on their actions, making sure it's a consistent, safe, reliable action, and making sure you find out what their strength is. What is their super strength? And that's no different from a youngster in an academy to an IPL legend. They've all got super strengths. As soon as you think of a great player, you think of 2 or 3 things about that player. And that's, yes, they've practiced it a lot, but that's a natural strength. So half the balance of a coach and the battle of coaching is making sure that the super strength is done in each particular facet of the game. You know, if your ball swings, you've got to go up front and try and swing it and take wickets, or somebody's got express pace. Have a go at the start, like a Jofra Archer, have a go at the start, for instance. And then if it doesn't, if it goes well, try and get another one in. And the captain's got to think on his feet. And then if it doesn't go so well, right, we're pulling back now. We'll try and take some wickets and maybe working with a spinner in the middle to make him feel even quicker against a spinner at one end. It's captaincy is really crucial in this format, and the communication between captain and the bowlers and the batsmen are massive. Batsmen and batters have to go through. They have to go through the gears. You have to get in. You have to rotate and have to dominate. And that's, you know, getting in, rotate, dominate is in most formats. But in IPL and the T20 format, that's going to take just a few balls. So you've got to assess very quickly.
Okay, Cham, Paul made up a nice point about captaincy. If you look at the top 5 teams, almost all of them had some very good captains. Gujarat, CSK, Mumbai Indians, of course, Lucknow had a disadvantage of losing Rahul, whereas Faf has been leading from the front for RCB. So what are your thoughts? How important are the captains in this particular T20 format or with this IPL in this season, Shah?
Captaincy in cricket itself is very different from every other sport, because it's the captain who makes the decisions on the field. You can have the coaches and all the think tank, all your coaching staff to make the broad outlines of a strategy. But on the field, it is an evolving situation, whether it's a test match or a 3-day match or a 1-day match or a T20. The difference is in T20, it evolves by the minute or by the second or by the ball, I would say. So which means the captain should be thinking on his feet all the time. So he should be quick to notice changes in the batsman's approach, strategy, mentality of his own players. So I mean, a captain's roles can never be overemphasized in T20 cricket because it's so very crucial. So which is why if you look at the teams doing well, they all have very good captains. Because I was listening to Mike Hessen the other day on the choice of Faf du Plessis as the RCB captain. Why did he choose? Because they said, okay, they went through a whole lot of players who could possibly become captains. But, you know, the guy who's stepping down is Virat Kohli. So they needed somebody whom Virat Kohli could respect. Somebody who could keep Virat Kohli under control. And that is one of the couple of names they zeroed in was Faf. And that is how Faf went on to become the RCB captain. So if you look at, say, Mumbai Indians or say or Chennai Super Kings, the Dhoni and Rohit Sharma, two stalwarts there, and their roles as captains is very crucial, especially in Chennai. You take away Dhoni, you saw when Dhoni handed over the captaincy to Ravindra Jadeja, the Chennai Super Kings fell in a heap. So this is precisely where the role of a captain comes in. A captain can lift a team, and as at the same time, a captaincy can, a poor captaincy can disintegrate a very good team. I mean, I would, for the people like me, the best example of a captain comes back from Ian Botham and Mike Brearley. Ian Botham was the best all-rounder of his time, or perhaps one of the best in the history of cricket, but he made a poor captain. He was doing so badly in the Ashes that I think it was the 81 Ashes, if I remember right, and England were 2 down, and then he resigns, and Brearley comes in, and the whole series turns on his head. Botham becomes a match winner, England goes on to win the series. So this is how much a captain can influence a game. So that is Test cricket. So in T20 cricket, you multiply it by 1,000, you get the idea.
And who's your best? Who has impressed you the most, Shami, of these captains? If I may ask you one name.
I mean, Dhoni, without a doubt. I don't think anybody has has made captaincy such an art in among the IPL teams. You can see exactly the micro moves he makes such a major impact on a particular game. That is just a game. Now, if you look at the players, for example, he's got the what they. I mean, you always hear about the Dhoni magic, but you would think that that's an exaggeration. But you look at the players he's molded. Like for example, Shivam Dube, he was just a hit and miss player, and now he's turned out to be one of the what you call the middle order or stalwarts for Chennai Super Kings. So also you look at Rahane. Rahane was a fringe player till last season. When he comes into Chennai Super Kings, he becomes a match winner. So also last year, if you look at Robin Uthappa, who was just languishing in Rajasthan, he comes to Chennai, plays some vital knocks for them. I mean, you can quote so many examples of players coming into Chennai Super Kings and becoming match winners. I mean, that I would say it's simply down to Dhoni magic.
That's really interesting, actually. A really interesting point about the captaincy, because one thing what I've tried to do in our academy, in the GEMS, with GEMS Academy, the GMI Academy, what we've tried to do is get Sehwag. We've got Sehwag involved. We've got Michael Vaughan involved. We've got Nida Dar, the Pakistan ladies captain, because captains look at people. They look at people and their character. They're very good, almost psychologists. They have that calmness about them, and they'll look at it from a really personal view. How are they feeling? How are they supporting them? And that's really, really important in the captaincy, and the best do that. And for me, I've really enjoyed Faf du Plessis. I've been seeing him at close quarters in T10. His knowledge on players is incredible, but he's giving to his players, and the time he gives to each player in the evenings, away from the games, those gold dust conversations that give confidence and give belief in their players, and takes pressure off is the biggest thing. He's taking pressure off. He's massive.
Lovely point. Sai has been waiting again. Sai, just to ask you this, how are you impressed with the way some of these players have come out, like say Tavatia, or for that matter yesterday in KKR, you're looking at say the skipper
Nitish Rana.
Nitish Rana, or your
Rinku Singh.
Rinku Singh. How comfortable, or what are your thoughts about these players who are all coming in and knocking on the doors of Indian team? Of course, Jaiswal has been smashing it. But what is your thought process on these players, and what does the way, or what do you think it will happen to these players next?
See, till the last match before the KKR match with Chennai, where Rinku Singh was supposed to be the finisher. He goes slam bang and he finishes it off. But yesterday he showed character, he showed poise, and he can take the match in deep, and he did play a good role as a good finisher. So he has got we have a role for 5 or 6 for him in the future. Once the senior people like Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and all these people retire, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rinku Singh are strong contenders for the team India. And I think even now, recently I read an article where Ravi Shastri was telling it's time that we bring in Yashasvi Jaiswal into the team and for the T20 and rest the senior players. I think it's not a bad idea too. And another thing I was just wanted to talk to about the captaincy. Yesterday the match between RR and RCB, I think that is the time when the captain should have told the RR, when it was 5 or 6 down, the captain should have told the team, yes, let's make a match out of it and try to get closer to the target and reduce your net run rate. Now, when the last final sessions are going to the net run rate and it's going to get tight, and RR is going to regret the losses that they made, they should have played sensibly there, If you look at the previous match also.
As you said, they have lost 6 of their 8 matches, isn't it?
Correct.
So that there should be some introspection which has not happened, isn't it, Sai?
Very true, very true. And I think they're missing out on some strategies there, and that's where they should have actually told their players, okay, now we are 6 down. Let's hold on till at least get it till the 20th over. Let's close in the gap. That's what I think Gujarat Titans did, when Rashid Khan hit 79 runs with Mumbai Indians. They actually reduced the run rate margin for Mumbai Indians. So it's getting to I think we all go down the net run rate. The last 4 will be on the net run rate. It's going to get challenging now. So captains play an important role there too.
Yeah. We have been talking about a lot of bowlers, but if you look at the spinners, there is no real young spinner who has really made a big mark, isn't it? People like the oldies have come back, Chahal or Ashwin or Piyush Chawla. These guys have all come back and they have performed well. So, what is your thought process? Is there any young spinner coming in, or who's done the best in your terms in the young generation?
See, from the Indian perspective, I think it's only Chahal. There's still the senior period. There's no new contender as yet. We have other than Varun Chakravarti who's come in, but we don't see anybody else, other than Varun Chakravarti. But from the international perspective, Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed, they have both done fantastically well. And I think they have kept the hopes alive, contender for the purple cap alive. So, Rashid Khan has got the highest number of wickets. So, yes, Indian is still lacking. I think that's an area where, there's an opening for a youngster to come in. And if they perform, they will definitely get in. So, we are still short of spinners.
Yeah. So, now we are coming to the home stretch of the IPL. Again, one more call I would like to take, because by the time we come next week, the top 4 would have been identified. So, who are your final picks? Are you willing to keep the 4 Sai from what you said in the past, or you want to change?
Gujarat Titans, RR, RCB. The question now is if SRH has to be there in the play, RR will go out. So one of them will go out. So it's going to be a tight call. So I still want RCB, Gujarat Titans, and SRH to be in. The 4th, anyone can come forth. No problem.
Okay, that's going to be not possible, but maybe 1 or 2. Cham, what are your thought process? I think Mumbai, they have surprised you, isn't it? Initially, you were not very convinced with the way Mumbai did, but they are in the pole position right now in the 3rd spot. Though if they don't win anymore, of course, they've got 2 more games to go. Even if they win 1, they'll be into the playoffs. So, what are your 4 picks now? You want to make a change?
Yeah, his Mumbai really surprised me, because right at before even the tournament started, I wrote a piece saying that Mumbai won't qualify. That is simply by looking at the team, simply because Jofra Archer had not fully recovered. But even if he had recovered fully, I don't think her lack of match practice would have hamstrung his bowling. So straight up, you are without Jofra Archer, you are without Jasprit Bumrah. So which means you don't have a straight, a spearhead for your attack. So, and that actually showed in the early part of the campaign. But what was even worse for Bombay was their batting also misfired. So in between, Cameron Green played a few innings, then there were a few cameos from Tim David, but beyond that, and Tilak Sharma kept them afloat. But even then, that was not good enough for them to win consistently. But all that changed when Surya Kumar Yadav returned to form. I think he has been a single-handed match winner for them consistently. Like even the last few games, he's instrumental in getting them the wins. Now that they are pretty much in the running for the playoff spots, I'm sure they will pick up one of the spots, which means I am forced to eat my own words. I don't mind.
That's okay, Sam. We all predicted at the start, so that's fine. Yeah.
Sure. So from the 4 teams which I chose at the start of the tournament, I am rejigging the lineup now. Gujarat Titans, which I had said will retain or defend the title successfully. I think they're still on course to do that. But other 3 teams from that I will put down RR, because their Rajasthan Royals has been on a losing spree, or their first 7 matches they've been phenomenal, but you cannot say the same about the rest of the matches, because they've been winning big and losing big. So that is the kind of thing, that kind of form is never going to be get you a slot there. So I will they will not make it. So for me, it's Gujarat, Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, and Royal Challengers Bangalore. So this
That's,
is, according to
you're
me, the
supporting
4
your
teams.
city now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay, Paul, coming to the talk about the Surya Kumar Yadav. What is so special about him, Paul?
Well, he's just been a phenomenon, hasn't he? He's somebody that is just an instant game changer. I mean, it's just been phenomenal to watch. We thought we've seen talent over the years, but this is very, very special. You know, elegance, classy, proper cricket as we know it. It's not flashy, but so effective. You know, it's been great to watch, hasn't it?
Yeah. And do you want to stick your neck out and pick the 4 teams for the final playoffs?
Yeah, Gujarat are on fire, which is good for them. Chennai, you can't take it away from them with that experience with Dhoni. Mumbai Indians quality, and look now. I think those 4 now who are there. For me, I just want Ajinkya Rahane to do well. I just want him to keep playing well. I want to see the 75 not out from him, bring his form back to England.
Yes, Leicester. Yeah, lovely. Okay, lovely. On that, I think by and large, the 4 teams are on track. I said it at the start: GT, CSK, Mumbai, because Mumbai and CSK had the experience, and GT, they are a good team. The 4th one, I've stuck my neck out to say RCB. They're still in the reckoning. But let's see what happens this week and what unfolds as a crucial week for every team. And stay tuned to all the Gulf News channels. And see you next week and talk more about IPL. Thank you very much for watching.